When sellers think about preparing their home for the market, they usually focus on cleaning, staging, and photos. But one thing many sellers don't think about before listing is inspections. Should you have inspections done before putting your home on the market? The answer is sometimes. I'm Lisa Mutschler, broker owner of Expert Real Estate in Arvada, Colorado. And after being involved in hundreds of transactions, I can tell you that in the right situation, pre-listing inspections can save a seller a tremendous amount of stress, time, and money. Now, in Colorado, buyers typically pay for their own inspections during the contract period. So I'm not saying every seller should automatically do inspections up front. In fact, my usual advice is to wait and let the buyers do their inspections and see what they ask to be repaired. If there are three big things that need to be fixed and the seller has already fixed one before listing, the buyer may ask for the two things to be fixed. And if the seller agrees, they've now repaired all three things. Conversely, if the seller waits until they're negotiating with the buyer over the three items, they can perhaps agree to repair two of the three, thus saving themselves some money and equity. Also, if a seller is made aware of issues with the property as a result of the pre-listing inspections, they are now legally required to disclose everything to the buyer. But there are situations where it can be helpful. Depending upon the seller's situation, inspection surprises can create a domino effect. Maybe they already went under contract on their next home. Maybe they need the proceeds from this sale to qualify for their next purchase. Maybe timelines suddenly no longer work. Inspection surprises can completely change the course of a transaction. And sometimes the issues are major. I once had a buyer under contract on a 100-year-old home where the inspections uncovered issues with the foundation, sewer line, structural, electrical, plumbing, and roof. The seller was stressed and overwhelmed. That's why in some situations, it makes sense to investigate potential issues before ever hitting the market, especially with older homes, mature trees, aging sewer lines, deferred maintenance, or properties where the seller simply wants greater certainty before making major financial decisions. The benefit of pre-listing inspections isn't necessarily that you fix everything, it's that you gain information and options. You may decide to repair certain items before listing, disclose issues and sell as is, adjust your pricing strategy, or even decide that selling right now no longer makes financial sense. When sellers understand the condition of their home up front, they're often in a much stronger position during inspection negotiations because there are fewer surprises and fewer emotionally charged decisions being made under tight deadlines. At the end of the day, every home and every seller's situation is different. Part of my job is helping sellers determine when pre-listing inspections make strategic sense and when they probably don't. I'm Lisa Mutschler with Expert Real Estate. If you're thinking about selling and want guidance on how to best prepare your home for the market, I'd love to help.